Well, today we are changing out the oil in this Honda Civic. It is a 1.8 and it is about almost 2,000 miles past its last oil change, which is recommended about 3,000 miles. And this is a Texas car. A lot of heat, a lot of dust. We've already checked the air system here. We've checked this filter here. It's in pretty good shape actually, so we don't need to replace that. But we did go out and get some oil. We got some oil filter and we got the oil drain. The oil in this takes 0.20 weight, so it's pretty watery stuff. And under here, what we have to do, or what I've already done, I wanted to speed the video up a little bit. You had a plug here you have to take off. On this plug, this is a 17 millimeter, so I used a ratcheting wrench here, and I'll show you where this plug is up under here. And I've already got most of the oil pretty much out, and you can see just how black it is. Nasty stuff. The plug is actually right here where that oil is dripping out. I think you can see it right there. It sits on the back of this, like this, kind of like that. So when you take it off, I'm facing the vehicle. You have to turn it to the left. So that's how that comes out. And now for the oil filter, it's actually sits right here. See that little hole? Right about there. It sticks down, and you got to get one of these guys on here. It's a small one. And this one here, the part number on 64P-14, and I'm not sure what size it is. It says Hyper Tough. That's also on it. It's one of these little small guys here, so you'll have to have one of these. And this is actually a 1/2-inch drive, so I thought this was going to be a 1/4-inch drive, but it is a 1/2-inch. And we got our 0.20 full synthetic SAE oil, 5 quarts there. I think this takes about 4 quarts. But anyway, we can go ahead and pull this out. It's been sitting here probably a half hour. The engine wasn't very warm. Let's just see how nasty this is, because I know after 3,000 miles, this oil gets pretty dark. And try not to spill it. Some nasty stuff. So all we got to do now is put the plug back in and get the filter on and put this oil in, and we're pretty much done. So if you're a first time do it yourself, or you want to save some money, if that's even the correct way to say that, this is one way you can save some money by doing your own oil changes and all that. And you can just see that it's a Texas car, just a lot of dust. If you live out west, you really got to check the air filters, these things, every 3,000 miles, even replace them. But I think someone's probably replaced it earlier. And other than that, and there's a look at the engine. I think it's got like 65,000 miles on it right now. Cute little Honda. So look at the converter on this thing, how big that thing is compared to the engine. So yeah, it's emissions friendly. So let's go ahead and change this oil, get this new oil in, get rid of this old oil, and go ahead and wrap this video up. So hopefully you'll enjoy this quick little video on this Honda Civic. Let's get a battery. Let's see. Alright, let's go ahead and get this plug back in. And this engine is a 1.8. It holds 3.9 quarts, basically 4 quarts, if you will. Decided to look it up online, and once I get this started here, I'll have to take a wrench and snug it down. I'm right-handed, but I'm using my left hand. Let me do this the other way. Anyway, so that's on. Now we'll go ahead and tighten this down, and of course it goes my way. Actually goes to the right, the driver's side. I'm facing forward here. There we go. Just snug it down, make sure there's no dirt on the threads or anything, and give it a nice little tug. Nothing crazy. And I like that. That is on. And now we'll go ahead and get the oil filter on, and like I said, it goes right here. I think you can almost see it right there. I got this thing kind of setting up on a block of wood because it's pretty low. I just needed enough clearance on the front of the engine to get this off. Of course, a lot of these YouTubers have $1 million garages. They don't have to lay on the ground like I do. But hey, you know what? I don't mind. It's nature, right? All right, so let's get this oil filter on. Well, sometimes you just don't think, you know, an oil change would be a pain in the butt. But sometimes it can be kind of a messy situation because if you buy different oil filters, well, sometimes these guys here don't fit every oil filter. For example, this will not fit on this. Even though this filter is called for this one here, it will not fit on here. And of course, the filter that we took off the car, the Valvoline one, well, it fits right on there, no problem. So, I was a little annoyed about that, so what did I do? So, I drove a little farther out, and I said, you know what? I'm not putting this Fram on there if this filter wrench does not fit on here. That's ridiculous. So, I went and bought another filter. And look at this, it fits on there just like it should. You got to get this up in there and have a tool on it because there's really no way to grip this. So it looks like this should be okay. And I've heard a lot of good things about CarQuest. I'm not sure what company makes this, but I don't think I ever bought an oil filter. And I've done my share of oil changes. Actually has paper on it here. So protective. So this is the same filter basically. I'm not sure why the other one's a little shorter. The CarQuest one. These are about maybe 2.5, 3 inches. They're kind of small. But anyway, we're going to put this on because this wrench fits on here like it should. So, you just don't know. So my advice is if you're going to take it off an oil filter, make sure whatever wrench you use, you take that oil filter off with, make sure the new oil filter will actually fit on it if you have to get a different brand if they don't have the brand that you had on here earlier. So, that is that. And just to show you all the wrenches I have here, sometimes when you think you have enough wrenches, you just don't have enough. So, well, I guess it's nice to see somebody cares about their product. Cover up with a little bit of plastic on here, and we'll have to wet this down just a little bit. I didn't see any instructions where it didn't say not to. But we'll just put a little bit of bead of oil on there. And we'll get this one here. And this one here is it's leak tested too. So 2023 CarQuest part number is 84356. So this is a premium one. So let's get it on. Alright guys, I know you're not going to be able to see much, but in these oil filters and some of these cars, they stick on there so far when they get jammed and these things strip off like this, they round off, you can't get these filters off. This can be a problem, so don't over tighten these. Just snug them down really good. That's all you have to do. And let's see. There was quite an angle. There we go. There we go. Scared me there for a minute. I thought, what did I do to the threads? Alright, so tighten it down just a little bit there. And that's it. That's all you need. Ta-da! Alright, looking good. Alright, so we're getting ready to put our oil in, but before we do that, go back under here and just verify that you put the nut back on, the plug back in the oil pan, which is right there, which I did. It's tight, and you already got the filter on and you've snugged it down. And we should be good to go. We should be able to go ahead and get this oil in. All right, that should do it. That's about 4 quarts. And what I really like about these jugs, I get this little strip on the side. You can see exactly where you're at. That's about 1 quart left. So that's 4 quarts. Remember the old days when you could only buy 4 quarts in one of these jugs? Finally, someone got smart years ago and said, hey, well, maybe we should make these 5 quarts. Nice move. All right, let's check the dipstick. We haven't started it yet, but we are up on the dipstick there, so we'll have to start it up. Once that oil gets through the filter, it will probably have to add a little bit more, but we'll double check it after we let it run just for a minute. And right now, a good time is to go underneath. Why we've already put oil in it, make sure there's no leaks. I see nothing leaking under there. So we are good. Now we can go ahead and start it up. Make sure we put our cap on, get everything here kind of cleaned up. We certainly don't want nothing falling off into the engine, hitting the belts, or having them to pop off or break something. So let's get all this out of the way and start up the vehicle. And I was just curious how many miles it actually had. 73,010 miles. And everything is sounding good. This is really just a nice looking car. We never owned a Honda. This is my son's. See how nice it is on the inside. Of course, we've got a little sunroof. I like the digital readout display. Everything looks really good. It looks like he was getting 35 miles a gallon. I'm not sure. I'll have to check and see, but yeah, interesting little car, but we do have it running here. No leaks. And engine sounds really, really good. Nothing leaking anywhere. Check everything under here. Looks good there. Maybe we'll wipe a little bit of this oil off. So nobody gets scared and think there's a leak. So, alright. Alright, as we kind of walk around here, give you a nice look at it. 2015. And lots of room in the back. For 73,000 miles. I'm not sure if you bought it new, but it's got all power windows. Full power on this side. Of course, the seat's never full power. You can see how nice the dash looks. Really love the touchscreen. That's really nice. You get your climate control and your screen there. And we're just looking at it from the opposite side. To get his oil change, he said they charged $105. I did it for $27. So, if you can do these things, learn these things, you're in good shape. You can save yourself a lot of money. And these are 205 55 16s all the way around. I guess they have disc brakes in the back. Let's see. Yep, we have our little disc brakes. Tires are really great shape. You can hear the exhaust. Firing really good on all 4 cylinders. A Civic. So it's in pretty good shape. Better be. So we got an oil change, and I guess we'll wrap this video up. But just remember, folks, when you're changing these oil filters out, if you get a different brand, sometimes you may have a problem, you know, getting the right wrench on these oil filters, because for some reason that frame was just slightly bigger. Why? I have no idea. So we got our synthetic oil in there. Should be good for quite some time. And until my next video, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.